This year at CARTES, we are focusing quite a bit on NFC and the related technologies. Things had changed significantly in the last 12 months. NFC had been buzzed around for several years. Most of us had been involved since the mid-2000 in that very topic. Quite disappointed about the fact how slowly it had been evolved over time. But now with some major blue chip companies jumping on the topic, and there's basically four categories that really are driving the technology forward, which is the telecom companies, the telcos, which really have not just pilot phases, but roll it out heavily. You have the handheld manufacturers. All the big brands have basically the NFC-enabled phones and smartphones coming out there. You have the wallet companies out there, which are even the big names like Google and a few others that are really heavily pushing that. And ultimately, even the banks and credit card companies really strive after that very technology. That means us as an infrastructure company, and we've invested in that segment since a long, long time, we finally get to a stage where we are able to bring the products that we had developed all over the time into that very market. That having been said, from a group level, we have consolidated our activities within the Identive group, which the good old SCM bit is part of, in a dedicated business unit, which is Identive NFC. It had been formed about 3-4 months ago, where we are basically structuring the approach with products, components, and technology from various group companies, including tags, stickers, and labels on the one hand, readers, modules and related devices on the other hand, and also some of the consulting and integration applications that we had been brought to the market in order to have a much more coherent offering to the market out there. So that's something which we're really significantly focusing on, and it's really gaining momentum. If you look into the transponder bit, we are producing and shipping more and more NFC-enabled devices into the market. If I look into the ID infrastructure bit of our business, we have a significant switch away from the good old contact cards into contactless applications, and there it's in particularly NFC and NFC-related applications driving demand. So that having been said, we're getting to a stage where the three major, let's say, experiences of NFC really are gaining ground, which is to transact, to exchange, and to discover. So you transact money, ultimately, you have your NFC-enabled phone, you have your loyalty cards on there, or you have your credit card on there, and you have a respective enabled reader device, either a point of sales or an add-on device to basically have that transaction completed. In the discover area, just think about all the entire poster applications. You again have a handheld device. You can basically detect such kind of NFC posters and the like, which we're also heavily involved, and get this respective experience. And in the last area, in the exchange mode, which is basically exchanging information, not only between people like you and me, like the good old business card application that we've seen already 7-8 years ago, but it's also a machine-to-machine exchange when it's about easy pairing applications and so on. So apart from all the products that we're displaying here, we actually used CARTES 2011 this year to also introduce a new branding for the entire organization. So the holding company, the Identive Group, not only has launched a new look and feel, a new logo, we also have launched new brands for all the products company which are underneath the group. This is in particularly our ASIC, Techstar, Smart Tag branded transponder, inlay and related companies, but it's in particularly our Aragon and last but not least our SCM Microsystems brand, which all become Identive during that show. So from that point of view, going forward, we are going to be having a more coherent approach to the market. It's going to be a unified look and feel for our suppliers, for our customers, for our partners, and it's going to be a much more cohesive approach going forward.